Good day. Welcome to you folks from Soul Jazz. It is with great pleasure to see you visiting Studio One, the pioneer leader of Jamaican music. I'm going to take you inside that you can see all around and see where it all began. Clement Dodd and his Studio One music that is so accepted in the world today, which we are really thankful for. Yeah, there he is.
Is the name, music is the game, Studio One atmosphere in the station. So black people run, come let me give you a demonstration about music education to admiration, yo. Do it, yeah.
Alright.
I'm Johnny Moore. They call me Dizzy. Dizzy Johnny.
I'm Leonard Dillon, leader founder of the group Ethiopians.
Lincoln Sugar Minot, youth promotion, Black Roots production, you know, singer-songwriter, producer, and the whole works. Coming out originally from the studio of Studio One. Welcome, don't know, one love and unity.
Hi, this is Ken Booth, and I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm a singer and entertainer.
Yes, yours truly, Alton Ellis, and here for your interview.
Jeans was in, the Dangaree, you know, everybody, yeah. But for this climate down here, it still goes the right thing.
No matter what the people say, these sounds leads the way. It's the art of the bass and your boss teacher, I can state. Hot it to the top, to the very last drop.
Well, I'm Clement Dodd, better known as Sir Coxsone Downbeat, Master of the Royal Society of Jazz, and King of Sound Systems.
Undoubtedly, Studio One produces majority of the best music in Jamaica.
The backyard DJ adds his own special flavor. He turns down the vocal track and dubs his own patois rhyme schemes.
The first time when I went to Studio One, you know, the first time you go to the studio, waiting your turn, right? And I would take a peep in just to see, they would come out. They would run me out there.
Whenever we started the session, I didn't really sit down much. I was always dancing, so they used to call me the dancing operator.
Everything was going like 24 hours like this, straight. Recording, voicing, cooking, singing, you understand? And about 6 pressing plants inside was just going like much, all day, you know?
Where were you born and brought up?
Born in Kingston and brought up in Kingston. You know, basically from Orange Street to East Street, you know.
And when you were growing up, that was their music in the house?
Well, yes, we had Martha Richards radio, and we used to listen to the foreign station a lot. like Voice of America, listening to people like Billy Eckstine and Sierra Vaughan, Lionel Lampton, Louis Jordan, you know.
And what did your mum do?
She had like a grocery store, and I was quite busy there helping. And when I get home from work, you know, because at that time I was a mechanic, so we get off work 4 o'clock, so by 5:30 we'll be playing music, and people would expect that and come from other part of the city, stay outside and enjoy the music, buy a lot of beer and stuff like that. Yeah.
When did you first start playing in the store?
In the late 40s, early 50s, yeah.
So how old are you then?
It'll take a bit of calculation to figure that, yeah. There was Tom, the great Sebastian. He had a sound system, which I used to go by on weekends and listen. He was playing rhythm and blues too. He was playing a lot of Wyoming Harris and stuff like that.
Well, I first met Mr. Dodd through a DJ that he had by the name of Count Machuki, who was the first disc jockey in Jamaica at the time.
Was he speaking on the
No, the speaking wasn't really in the swing. I came back and changed that with a lot of toasting, you know.
Did you get that idea from America?
America, right. And then I got together with Count Machuki, and, you know, would just toast to him like I've heard it on the radio station.
No, well, Coxsone wasn't the first sound system, but Coxsone sound system was the first sound system to create disc jockeys that would use the microphone in between records. All the other DJs before our time, they would only just put on the records or either dance with a girl or drink a beer, but it wasn't anything exciting. Count Machuki and myself, we are the two persons that started this mic business.
The way they rap, you felt involved because it sounded like they're rapping especially to you, you know. And this is stuff we came back to Jamaica with, that our sound took off because my sound was the only sound that doing stuff like that.
Man say look before you leave and put it before you out. Mom before you down in about the sky loud. Cause you this Iowa man, you got a religion. Man about to hold up your head. You coming over I ain't
In the earlies, well, this little tree here was very smaller, the Saki tree here, and there was a big black mango tree right there. We used to that cook there. There was a big black mango tree. What? God used to ripe those mangoes every second. Because if 100 artists is into this yard, and every man that climbs is like you cannot find no more than 2. When you find 2, you will never find another one. And if someone else climbs, you'll find 2. And you can't find another one. And if this man climbs, he'll find 2. That's the way. It was like a joke here, man. Everyone feed off of this mango tree.
Then they want to see you drop. That you reach it up, then they want to see you drop. You don't try at all, them say you lazy boy. Don't try at all, me say you lazy boy. So all they got to do is come and spread a little joy. They act like a man about to act like a bun. Cause I danger in your eyes.
So where did you get the idea to go to America?
Well, in the early days, it was a popular thing of the recruiting men for Florida, you know, to either work in fruit or vegetable or the sugar cane. But that was like the idea of early means of making some good money within a short period.
So was everyone Jamaican?
Yeah, all Jamaican.
So did you mix with the Americans at all, or?
Well, at work. Yeah, at work we mix with it. And weekend, you know, when you go party, you mix a lot with the Americans.
So would the parties be in town, or?
Yes, more, yeah, you would say in town. It would be jukeboxes. When we go to like live shows, then it's quite different. It would be a band. Because you didn't have sound system in America at that time, just the jukeboxes.
Well, when you're driving it high, it makes you think you're driving it low. Well, when you hit 85, still think you're going slow. Well, the closer you get, the faster that Cadillac goes. Get up, little car, I gotta go catch my gal. Well, she's riding in the Cadillac, riding with my best pal.
While I was there, I sent the amplifier along with a lot of records and stuff like that.
So you knew that was what you were going to do?
Yes, and I sent diagram of how I'd like the box to be built. Then my old lady got involved, gave out the boxes, and she just started. As a matter of fact, she was the very first female DJ in Jamaica. I get ideas from some of the jukebox, you know, to build these boxes with a lot of glass and fancy stuff and writing on it. When the amplifier, the power of the amplifier was much less, it wasn't strong enough to break the glass. So we went for beauty, you know.
So they made it of glass?
Yeah, yes, certain spots.
The drums were over on that side, the bass man right there, and the arms would be here, and the vocals would be in, somewhere in the middle there doing their thing.
Well, yes, this back microphone was Bob Marley famous microphone. And up to now, you can't go no higher than this in studio microphone. It's a Neumann. This is the top of the line.
Cedric Brooks, Cedric or Roland or Tommy.
Why was he separate from that?
No, he used to play what the guitar mostly played, spa, well, that's why we call him the Ska Campbell.
I notice while working generally, I usually find that coming from the back of a speaker, there usually is a softer, heavier sound of the bass. So I actually created a bass box where I put an aperture at the back and put a mic at the back. So in other words, not the front of the speaker, at the back.
Came back, fresh ideas, big boxes, attended the popular sound system of the day, see what they were doing. And Duke Reid was a friend of the family. So I had the records. So I used to go around, play them on his sound system so as to see how the dance fan would accept it.
On his sound system?
On his sound system.
What, he let you try it out, or?
This was doing a lot for him because I was playing record that he didn't even know.
It was many sound system in those days. Sound system had just begun because orchestra started to fade out around 1952. All the orchestras start to leave Jamaica and start to make their base in England.
So do you think he knew that you were training to start competition? Or?
Well, maybe, but he wouldn't really figure me that much competition to him because he's a bigger person and in the business well established, you understand?
There was another man around who was Duke Reid, the Trojan. And the contest used to be between Duke Reid and Sir Coxson's Downbeat at all time.
I got a job at Bacha Milan, and I think this is where we really hit it strong.
I put the two of them together.
Sound clash?
Yes, as a double sound for one night, Duke Reid and Coxsson.
So the booking was between me and Duke. Well, Duke was the senior sound, so he pulled the crowd.
Himself, Count Machuki, was the disc jockey, and myself were at that dance, monitoring the sound.
Duke opened the dance, and I would come on about 12 o'clock in the night. And surprisingly, we really upset the whole thing because they figured that I was the man of the evening.
And this was around 1954, 55.
And was that exciting?
Very excited because Duke Reid himself was really a big sound too.
Being a young sound at that time, they thought maybe I was able to play 2 hours, but after they see how I held the crowd, then they just send home Duke and let me play for the rest of the night.
Coxsson grew up with we. Duke Reid was an ex-policeman. So because of that, I think the crowd would follow Coxsson more. Although Duke Reid used to have a good following. But the regular boys, as I would call it, the regular boys, the corner boys and the street fellows, then everybody cling to Coxsson because we are all coming through the same tracks.
So what we thought of playing, if you came over and started playing songs that people never heard before and then move into it, to keep them in that groove, you play another good song that they're familiar with, to keep that, groove going. Then you might hit them with a new song. but you have to make certain that it's something good enough that could keep them going.
Well, my name is Winston Sparks, aka King State. I was born in Kingston, the year 1940.
Jackie heard a guy whistling. And Jackie said, "That's E sharp, you know." And Roland said, "Yes." And Roland took up his arm and like that. And finds it was E sharp and said, "Youth, you're going to be a great musician."
Well, my name is Lascelles Perkins, born Jamaican, Kingstonian.
To be totally frank, there was something about Lee Perry that up until this day have me mystified. He's a mystical individual.
Every artist in Jamaica those days, as if you don't break that barrier, the downbeat barrier, it's like you're not reaching nowhere.
So you have Duke Reid fan coming there touting for Duke. You have my fan touting for me. Then if there's a third sound, you have fans from them come there.
So it's actually organised to be a clash?
Yeah, that's right. You know. So we'd clash, and then sometimes those clash work an hour for each person. But if you're not really playing that suitable for the people down, and then.
So would you have a different, do you each have your own sound system?
Yes, each of us had our
So
own.
would be one at one end and the other at the other end of the hall?
Yes, and sometimes we are like about here, because although this may be the platform, my sound, the other person's sound, the other person there, and the other person there, but the speaker box, it's spread all over. So as to cover the dance hall properly, you would have three of us in this corner here. We have a box each. There it goes. So when you switch from one to the other, you don't hear much difference because the box is there. It's only that if one sounds better than the other, it's quite clear.
Kingsland could accommodate at least probably more than 4,000 people.
4,000?
Yes, Kingsland was really a big place. Kingsland take up a block, one block. It take up from Church Street to Lovely.
Height of the sound clash was when we started making local recording, because that time you could have more songs than your competitor and better songs if your recording was good. That excel you to the top.
See you be real king, you be not jalopy. It was talk about you've got you to the cream of the crop. And you don't be a sort of a musical power, or you become a world flower.
To keep the identity from the folks, we used to scratch the label, not even the label also the names.
Where did you get that idea?
I wonder where, but I wasn't the only person doing it. You know, everybody who had a good record that wasn't popular, they erased the name and the label, because sometimes you'll be able to track the record because you know what label it's on. Because of erasing the song, you had to really give it a name. So you had songs like Cox and Hop, Downbeat Shuffle, and stuff like that.
So how long did you have, like, say Cox and Top, how long did you own it before someone else had it?
Well, Cox and Hop, I don't think anybody ever get around to that. Yeah. In America, the rhythm and blues was kind of fading, dying out. Then came the rock and roll. But the rock and roll didn't go over strongly in Jamaica. So about that time, we realized we had to really make some music of our own to keep the people happy. So went in the studio now and start recording. So the first couple of times I went inside, we did a little calypso there, a little tango, danceable like. And we did some rhythm and blues, tried to copy the rhythm and blues with that driving beat. And after a couple of sessions, you see how the people accept it. You felt that, you was on a good track.
He was doing recording at the time for his sound, not for publication. It was like dub plate, because all the other sound system usually go to America and buy the same songs that he went and bought 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So he couldn't stay ahead of them and playing the same song that they are playing. So he began to record his own thing to play on his sound.
We did reference disc, which is now called dub plate. And you'd make your reference disc and you come to your party and find out that the people love it so bad. So if you have more than one set system, because at one time I had 5, you understand? So I would have to cut 5 dub off of that specific record. When we started, we didn't have an idea this could be a business. This record was saleable. We knew it was suitable and we was trying to satisfy our dance fan and things like that. You understand? But we didn't have a clue that this could really work out into something saleable.
So do you remember the musicians you picked, first of all?
Well, yes, I started early with Clue J and Ronald Alfonso, Johnny Moore, Judge Jerry, and quite a few. We were playing on so much free party, and the word was getting around, and then everybody is happy to know it's Jonathan from off the corner that they know is singing this song, you know.
So were the people were the musicians, did they come to the party to hear it?
Oh yes, man. Roland never miss a party. He's always there. And you know, even the vocalist, if he has something that is current and moving, he has to be seen, show himself, and you know.
And then the dancehall now. You see they're talking about dancehall? Dancehall was long ago. Then I would have to go to the dancehall to hear the dub. When I did that song, You're No Good, I asked him which dance is going to take it tonight, because you have 3 sets. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Right? And he told me, well, he's going to take it to Foresters Hall so I can meet him out there. And I went there, and the first night I didn't hear it. Because when Machuki, the selector, he selects how he feels, so I'll be there the whole night and I don't hear my song. And then I'd go back another night and I hear, You're No Good, and everybody dancing, you know?
One of the early records we released was Easy Snapping, and that was like about a year and a half, 2 years after it was actually recorded. But it was so strong, and people were saying, don't beat why you don't make a record of that. I would say, you think it will sell? I say, yeah, man. So we give it a try. And that was the start of the business, because then we realized, you know, it could be a business because records like that sold a lot.
The island is J.A., Jamaica. The North Coast has a steel band or two and enough calypso to make your Arthur Murray money well spent on a honeymoon in Ocho Rios. But chances are you'll miss the real pulse of this island, the real sound. Oh, it can be heard just a few steps from Dunn's River Falls, just a 24-inch speaker away from the Jamaican Hilton. But it isn't yet a part of the modified American plan. So you'll fly home humming "Welcome to Jamaica, where the rum come from," without having heard one skank guitar chord, not one bulldozing bass riff, not one wailing lyric of J.A.'s heartbeat. Reggae. Welcome to Jamaica, where the reggae come from.
Well, I think I started at Brentford Road here about 6 to 1, you know. Yeah.
And was that a big step?
Well, yes, of course, because we could spend more time putting the records, the sounds together, so you'd get a perfect record. When you hire a studio, you're kind of watching the clock on the wall, and sometimes you accept a take just because of time is running out. But when you have your own studio, you know, you try to get perfection and you stick to that. At that time, I was the only person in Jamaica who was recording steadily with a in-house band.
Do they pay the wage? Are they for the week or for a session? Or?
No, after we got things going and was certain of ourselves now, then I started a weekly arrangement with the band. The band would play from Monday to Friday, say 10 to about 4 in the evenings, 10 to 5, you know, around that time. And that was a weekly thing we had going. So.
And did people like that arrangement? Or?
Yeah, man, they love it. And you see why that went over strongly is that the only place that was hiring musicians steadily per week was the hotel. And what they was making here, they was happier recording here than the hotel. The hotel wouldn't pay that kind of money.
Was it also that they could play more interesting music?
Yes, because the hotel, they stick to the calypso and the little, you know, ballad here or there. But here, they come in and never know what they're going to end up playing, you know.
How often did you work?
Well, we worked. It was like a daily situation, and everybody looked forward to it because we were enjoying what we were doing, you know. When we just got started, the bass player, Cloet, he was more or less the upfront person. When we come into record, you would say, everybody has the line. That is to say that everybody has to be mentally prepared to do the job, because everybody's getting paid, so everybody got to have an input. It's not that you're getting $10 to arrange and I'm going to get $5 to play. Everybody's collecting the team, so everybody has got to have an input in the thing. Yeah.
When we was playing the boogie woogie and the shuffle and thing like that, we realized that we were definitely swatting or copying the American stuff. But after playing and experimenting along the way, we realized we could do something on our own. And then just for that difference, this is why we decided to really come up and stick to the scale.
So you thought we want to make something Jamaican?
Some Jamaican sound, true Jamaican sound. Out of Scat came Scatlites, because we were in the studio here, and after we experimented and got it over, it was the men inside here that's doing most of the ska. So we just gave them the name, the Scatlites, you know, something to identify that they were definitely playing ska.
We decided on drafting some of the people that played in the studio, those who feel could put a very dynamic group together. And so we did that. We called on Makoka, Alfonso as outsiders, and Jajeri.
Did you release records by them straight away? Like the first Scatlites record?
Oh yes, because when Scatlites came about, it had developed into a record business. In the early stage when I was recording people like Cluj and stuff like that, we thought this was only for our sound system and the dances. So after releasing a couple and realized it was so successful, then realize everything now.
But did you think of yourself as a ska band or a jazz band or a Jamaican? Or...
The name was Scatlites, was a ska band, you know. We played other music. Sometimes we play a waltz or two, or sometimes we play one of the American pop things, but our basic aim was to propagate ska.
They seem to record a lot of material very quickly.
Well, yes, because these were the cream of the musician, you know, available. Because after you have Roland and you have Tommy, then you have the two best horns band there, tenor. Jackie was very, Johnny was very good. Not to mention Dan Drummond.
So I always imagine it was Don Drummond's leading the group, is that not?
Well, he was so popular that some people would figure he was the leader, but at all time it was really Tommy. Yeah. But when it come to session now, Dan would come to the session with his own composition. You understand? Even more than the rest of the guys.
What we did were like backing vocals. We had vocals who come in and we would put the music together for the vocalists. They'd come with a a set of lyrics and they probably have a melody sometimes, but as far as the arrangement of the music, the musicians generally put it together.
Would the singer be in the room when you recorded?
Ah, yes. It's not like though when you lay a rhythm, everybody had to work because the mics were limited and I guess the tracks were limited too.
Yeah, well, where you get the melancholy to know is from the Dan Drummond's writing. He has that sound, you know.
And was that to do with how he felt, or just do you like?
Well, yes, how he felt and he was like that, you know.
And did you like that?
Yeah, we love that because it's like the wind instrument kind of lay back, and then the rhythm is pumping, and it's just like the arms just lay back, and the rhythm section is pumping, you know. So it just give you that double feeling, you know. It was good.
Songs. The Scatterlight did a lot of tunes. We did some before we were named Scatterlight, and the Scatterlight lasted for about a year. And we did a lot of songs in that year, because like I said, actually every day we were here in the studio, and it's like a day's work. 9 to 5, we'd come in and we'd work, and we don't have any set time to get off. So we work till we, hey, that's it. I've had enough for the day.
To the basic success.
Come on in. You're welcome to the Success Club. This is where we had all the good vibes going in 1960, 61, 62. Right here was the good old Success Club. This is where we had the good Monday night dances with Count Hazy, Sir Coxsone Downbeat, We had a lot of clash here too, dance clash, Duke Reid, Sir Coxsone, Lord Coos, yeah. But it was all fun. It was all fun. Those were the days. Coming up, I've been introduced as one of a great old fan. This was a great fan of ours in the 1960s. All these men made it good, you know. These men was great guys. Yes.
Our dancer.
This one. Yeah, man.
You make a success club. Next dancer in Kingston.
Yeah, man.
So did he have the best sound system?
Yeah, number one, man. Him number one, honestly, man.
Not Jack, not
I know you pick me up, you know.
Not that is two, man. Number one, man.
Wrong beat.
Road beat.
Listen.
So where was the DJ and where were the sound systems?
In the sound side. Right here. On the veranda.
You set up inside on the veranda. On the veranda.
Where are you prefer, you know? Sometimes we sit up inside, sometimes we sit up outside.
Let's go to the back. Yeah, man. Arthritis, you know. No growth, man. Thank God.
Don't forget some of Barra bitters, you know.
Yeah, the bitters make your blood circulate.
Yeah. But it's the bar that.
And did they have food?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Kitchen and bar.
Kitchen and bar.
Why was Coxsone's the best sound system then?
No, because
best
music.
Music-wise.
Make the sound be the number one.
Yeah, I'm have the best artists.
And the best artist.
All the top artists and past. All the great artists them have come through.
What we're thinking of next, there is a place, you think P.O.R.A. would be nice? I say in the early days, Success was the main fun place. Yeah. A lot of fun.
God say yes when it's Success.
Yeah. Everywhere that you go, they will tell you that Success was a good
Success was the best. Yeah.
I plan for the top 6 and 2 cans.
Alright. It's like you're going up here for a little soda.
You can come in. Yeah, come.
Watch it. On a dance night, you know, all here filled with people, you know. Yeah. Everybody full, yeah. Watch it, though. Watch it. Can't afford to lose, you know. What you driving for?
This place used to be
Yeah. was a regular place. Right through the night, you know, that people coming inside here also, you know.
It's loud, so it travels for a distance. We have people far away hear the sound and track it and come right here.
Maybe another sound system down the road.
Quite possible, quite possible. Maybe another sound. But sometimes you have a dance here, then right in front here is the neutral hall, right in front here. Sometimes we have another step over there, yeah, playing. So it's always playing the best music. That's right, the crowd.
So did you like the competition?
Yeah, that competition all the way, all the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't. Yes. I had a lot of respect for Duke because he's the elder of us, right? And the friendship went back to my parents knew him. The competition was just like when you're in the dance hall. But when you meet together as men, you try to be, you know, cool and all right.
It was very diplomatic between the both of them because Duke, Cox always treat him with disrespect. Duke is a older man than Cox, you know. And Cox, you always treat him with disrespect. Hello, Mr. Reed, and treat him like that. But when him turned back, he was damage him musically, see. Yes, son. So it was just this thing going on between them, and Mr. Reed is a man that, you know, just people and their ways because he always have this gun at his side and have this grumpy face.
Duke got a liquor store and the studio. The liquor store is downstairs and the studio is upstairs. But he's got a speaker box wired to the liquor store, right? So whatever is going on upstairs, he can hear it. And remember, if what he hear he don't like, he's coming upstairs with all them guns, you know.
The lick in regards to Treasure Island Studio One now. Studio One have that sound, that street sound. From you hear it, all the mistakes you like and everything about it, you're gonna like that. It just have that sound, that catching sound. You know, with Jackie Me Too behind it, you know. That Jackie Me Too feel. And that was what I mean by the lick. Duke tune was stiff and straight. You understand? And to the point. No leaning that way and it was just like that's different to the recording, you know?
I can remember on one occasion I was sitting in the studio and he normally have Tommy McCook and this saxophone player called Marquez, Herman Marquez, right? So whenever there is any mixing, when you're mixing the tune them, right, Tommy or Marquez would be there. And one day we were there and they were mixing a song and Duke Reid was sitting down and observing what was going down. So he heard something that we didn't hear, you know, and he asked Errol to stop the tape and said, he looked at us and said, "Didn't you hear that?" So I said, "No." He looked at Marcus and said, "Didn't you hear that?" Marcus said, "No." He said, "Run the tape again," right? And when Errol played by the tape, we still couldn't pinpoint what he was on about. So where I was sitting, the mixing board was, it's like the mixing, Duke was in front of me, sitting down, right? And I was sitting beside the mixing board, beside Errol and Marcus over that way. But I wasn't paying much attention to Duke. I was listening, see if I could hear what he was talking about, right? And all of a sudden I hear a shot rang out, you know. Juke take out him gun and fire a shot in the corner right beside me. Right? And he said, that damn rat. Right? There was no rat there, right? You know, there was no rat there. He just wanted to get us listening, you know what I mean? Saying that we are idling, you know. Yeah, that shot was so loud, man. I just jump and, you know, that's Juke, you know.
Actually, at Studio One, we were the first to be recording strictly local music. And I think because of that, I had the edge over the other producers who had to rent a studio or whatever it is. And then the 60 was a very good period for me because I went into strictly building of artists, you know.
I'm in a dancing mood. I'm in a dancing mood. I'm in a dancing mood. When you feel the beat, you got to move your feet. You got to clap your hands. You got all the soul deep inside, 'cause you can't hide. I'm in a dancing mood. I'm in a dancing mood. I'm in a dancing mood.
Yeah, man, we used to wear some shine suits, man. I tell you, man, is that first time, you know, it was more uniform more than now, you know, so we had to go to a tailor and get some flashy suits and stuff like that. If you can look at the Clarendonians LP, when I was small, that we had some flashy things going on, you know. At that time, I don't feel I would really like wearing them now, you know.
Okay, I was about 19 plus, 18 plus 19. Very man. It was so exciting and feels so good to know that, because really Wailers was the upcoming group at that time. As a young group, more revolutionary in those days. And there was a group of young people going with. And to know that I was among Wailers and they are the one that backed my first recording was very exciting, you know.
It was lovely. Studio One is where I really enjoy my youth.
it was like a family feeling, you know. So even the whole artist was doing this also to help me, to help the kids. Well, I guess my other competitors or the people in the business didn't have much faith in the business because I think I was the first black man to really start with this as a business. You know, both having the studio, having the shop, the record store, and even started to export the records.
In order to accelerate economic development and to raise living standards, Jamaica is putting increasing emphasis on producing and manufacturing for export. What was originally produced to meet the demands of the domestic market must also now be suitable for export. These products must meet the high standards of quality set in the international marketplace and have a distinct Jamaican characteristic in craftsmanship, content, and design.
At that time, I was weak to music. Wherever it goes, it lured me, you know. Wherever you would know that a bunch of musicians get together playing, we'll find ourselves there and listening. They used to play in the hills, Warwicker Hills. They used to rehearse there. And I used to attend rehearsal and things like that. And then the idea came up that I would really keep a dance in the city here with my sound system, plus their drums. And we had that at the Success Club on Monday night, and it was great success, you know.
When I left the military band, I also left home because getting involved with Rastafari at that time, you automatically became an outcast. So you had was to find some Rasta brethren where you could go and, you know, spend your time, you know, and I chose Countess because I was in love with the way that they play the drums there, and I like playing with the drums, so I chose that area to really spend most of my time.
True, they were playing drum. A lot of the wind instrument used to go by them as a means of rehearsing.
Such as?
Yes, Johnny Moore, Dan Drummonds, Tommy, Seymour Rowland.
What, in the Counters, he didn't mind that? He thought that was...
No, he loved that because that was big, and then in his area he was the big guy because you have, you know, a sort of top musician coming by his place.
You are now entering PORA, famous Monday night dance hall. Welcome. Come on in. Good day, good day, good day, good day. So this was where we had the sound system set here on stage. And then this would be the dance hall. You had speakers like right in front here. You had speaker at each end of the dance, and then the rest of the speaker would be outside on the lawn.
So what would people be wearing? In like suits or shirts?
No, casual. At time, jeans was in, the dungaree, you know, everybody, yeah. But for this climate down here, suit wasn't the right thing, you know, just a t-shirt or
What did the women wear?
They were nice, crazy clothes, but yeah.
And did you ever come with your wife, or did she not come?
Well, once in a while, but you know, it's best to leave the wife to take care of the home while you take care of the business.
Yeah, this is Rosemary Lane, you know.
Yeah, outside here, yeah.
And that's the last.
Yeah. And the bar used to be in just that little section there. I would say the bar where you serve the drinks and the curry goat and whatever.
So how would people know to come here?
Yeah, you have flyers out, you promote it. And even like the night of the dance, we used to have a car with horns, playing the music and announcing the dance and throwing out flyers, you know.
And did you have like banners or anything up?
Yes, because 2 weeks before the date of the dance, you would have a banner out there, and you would have your regular invitation that you give out at least 2 months prior to the dance.
2 months?
Yeah, that's right.
And this is where you're from, isn't it? This is where you were brought up?
Yeah, all this area, yeah.
So did you know most of the people?
Yeah, we know most of the people, but you see, actually, what really draw the crowd is the dance promoter.
You could walk from here and go right up there. No, you
We
can't
could
do
walk
that.
every dance hall. 5 dance keeping tonight. And we're going to go all them and we're going to
All
walk
the dance we go.
from 1 to 1 and a bunch of us.
So you think that's a
And
shame?
nothing wrong. But things change. Yeah, life change. These new people grow up hostile and vile. We don't ought to go with them. So we keep our cool while they end up like a fool. Yeah.
They come to the bar.
Yeah.
They come to the bar and they order the drink.
We just take a quick one over.
Yeah, we're going to go
Set up people.
our friend place. It's a PMP place in the school. Yeah, it's nice.
By him. Very good. Old time Lord Street. Yeah. Yeah, I went to East Branch School too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is Rosemary Lane.
Right down to Milky Bank.
Rosemary Lane.
That's right. Milky Bank there, you know?
Alright. Love up, gentlemen. Love up. One Heineken cold, one hot beer. Yeah. Oh, screaming. When I opened here, we didn't have a store at the front. We had a store on Orange Street and Beeson Street, and there's another store I had on East Queen Street and Duke Street, and the third store I had was Beckford Street and West Street. That was in a nice, busy area where country folks come and sell their produce, you know. We were importing record and also selling local record.
You understand? But I wasn't really pinned down. I always had somebody to take care of the store. Then I would float around doing my other stuff, recording and enjoy yourself, yeah.
It's because of that drive why there was a Studio One of such. Instead of making some money and buy a nice house uptown and cut him 10, him take that money and him build a studio. And when the studio start working, him buy a pressing plant. And then when the pressing plant start working, him make a restaurant. And then he make a printry. And everything was going back in the business. And he was just behind it like that. A lot of other producers take the money and go into building house, buying property and buying drills, and going to different business, so to speak. It's just one direction, music for Coxsone ever since.
Yes, I'm Sister Ignatius from Alpha Boys School. I came to Alpha Boys School in 1939.
Render your arts and not your garments. The truth is there, for who have eyes to see? Partiality has no place in this judgment. Remember the words of prophecy. Children run, come to truths and rights. That's what I'm about. You know the truths and rights. Teach it to the children. You know the truths and rights. Teach it to the children, 'cause they should know. No.
So what musicians went to Alpha?
Well, Lenny Hibbert, Johnny Moore, Tommy McCook.
Render your arts and not your garments. The truth is there, for who have eyes to see?
They were the one who was turning out the very good musician, away from the army. And even the musician that came from the army didn't have the flex that those coming from Alpha. The ones coming from the army was too militant, too straight. The guys coming from Alpha had a soul of their own. They could solo and feel the music.
We did a little Beethoven, some Verdi, some Bach, a little Tchaikovsky, a little Lassalle, I think, Verdi, Wagner. The scope was wide.
Sister Ignatius seems to know you quite well.
Oh man, she's a darling. Nice lady, yeah.
When did you first get to know each other?
Well, yes, from Don Drummond's time. But she's so with it that she could any of Don Drummond's song just like that.
Well, we had a sound system which I bought for £35 from an old boy, and we used to play on Saturdays. That they would play dominoes, dance the ska, because they liked to dance in those times. And the ska had its own movements, etc. So we played, say, from after lunch till about 5. Then we would pack up and go.
Remember the word I am saying to you right now. And for tomorrow and henceforth I say, render your hearts and not your garments. The truth is there for who have eyes to see. Partiality has no place in this judgment. Just remember.
I was at Treasure Isle Studio and I went to do a show in Harborview for the government. It was some holiday and I and Supersonic, I was the backing vocal, I was the lead vocal for Supersonic on that night in Harborview, open air show. And there was like a school band who played before us. And the school band went on and playing and I see this little guy, you know, all over the piano, upside down on him foot on him head. So I run backstage and say, yo, no, come here, watch this little youth here. And the youth was all over the keyboard like it's nothing. That was Jackie Me Too, you know. It was Jackie Me Too.
Jackie, one of the things on which we're not very clear is the actual precise place where reggae might have begun. This studio would seem to me to be as good a place as any. As you were one of the first people, one of the pioneer keyboard players in this development, can you tell us possibly where it began, if this was really the place?
A lot of people have a lot of different places in mind, you know. But personally, my feeling is the whole atmosphere of where I am right now is where everything was sort of created around what's happening for reggae today.
Listen here, I'm totally together.
I thought he was young, so maybe he was about 17, 18, you know. But he was playing with another band at that time. Yes, the Sheiks or something like that.
Like he came to the studio as a youth, you know, going to college every day, and he came from college and began to play at the studio in his uniform. And this go on for like about almost a year. Him coming and play part-time. Until one morning now, 11 o'clock, is Jackie come to the studio, no school uniform. I say, yes, that's the end of college. No more college to Jackie Me Too.
And then he came here and he got the job because Monty Alexander had migrated to the States. You understand? Because sometime even after session and everybody gone, we'll be having a couple of drinks and planning what's the next group for tomorrow and things like that. And is there playing, and we're having a ball and things like that.
When the time comes for the horns, it's Jackie counting the horns and go back to the PM. And him counting the bassman and him play the bass note first until the bass say what to play to the song. And the bassman play it and find it. And him say, yes, let's go. And even the singers, people like me, who didn't have a musical schooling, there's certain time that my timing would be out and his Jackie would tell me wait and bring me in at the right time. He was a god.
It's always difficult to kind of trace, though, you know, how these things happen when very often they're organic. But can you perhaps recollect some of the instances where you felt that this was really, yeah, I'm in on the creation of this thing?
Yeah, well, most people know that. People who really are associated with like real good music, like jazz music, jazz lovers, mostly they know exactly where the roots of other types of music come from in Jamaica. So even from the 50s or 60s, people realize that reggae has its stand right around this ground.
Yes, well, I'm Rico Barker from Studio One, and Bob Taylor's best friend is Rico Barker, so Bob Taylor's my friend, says so.
an engineer, electronics engineer.
My name is Earl Walker, but my ordinary name that they gave me is the Great Baga.
Well, I'm Sylvan Morris, an engineer that worked at Studio One within the period of the 60s, 1960s. I was here for roughly about 8 years, you know, in which period we did a lot of recordings, which eventually became famous, you know. The musicians, they were in-house and they sort of make you felt, you know, in the groove whenever they were doing anything, you know. It's a groovy thing, you know. We had Jackie Me Too at the time, which was the main arranger. So it was really a picked band, you know, like Leroy Sibbles was one of the men who played the bass, you know, and Ricka Backer, Eric Frater, he was the guitarist. I remember Phil. There's a chap by the name of Phil who used to play drums at one at a time. We also used like Horsemouth, you know, and Robbie Lynn. He came on roughly after Jackie Me Too had left, you know. But Jackie Me Too was one of the main guys who, as you say, got the groove together, you know.
That he would take charge of it.
Yes, the sessions, you know. And he was a groovy cat, you know what I mean? We would do like the rhythm tracks first, right? And then afterward, no, we would overdubs, like the voice. Sometimes, depending upon the type of tune, we'd probably do some ons, overdub ons, you know, depending upon the type of tune, you know.
This is like a two-track machine.
Yes, so we'd actually run it from one tape to another tape. So sometimes we'd have three sessions of dubbing.
So does the quality not change? Or?
Well, being the type of person that I was, right, because I did the maintenance and thing on all the machines, so I kept them up to such a standard that you hardly noticed it. I mean, you'd get some slight depreciation, but it wasn't really noticeable.
So what are some of the singers that you backed?
I do with all Larry Marshall, Heptones, Ken Boop. I play for Ken Boop. I sweet talking for Heptones, Baby True, Fat Girl, Heptones, Ken Boop, moving away, don't move, like that. That's it.
Mr. Dodd, while thinking within himself to enhance music, he had bought a piece of equipment. The name of it was Sound Dimension. Now, in those days, it was a loop tape. And this is like a tape player, record player, but it had 3 different heads, right? And one of the heads was movable. God, in those days, it was an electronic relays and echoes and things. So you had bought this thing, which at that time was an advanced piece of equipment, with just a loop tape. So you'd record, send the signal in, and you'd pick up back the signal, so you could actually move the tape head, you know? So what they did was to put the guitar, what we did was to put the guitar on this piece of equipment, right? So when Eric Frater played, you got this check, right? And this, I think, was one of the things that started the reggae, because it actually came not just by thinking alone, it came by sound also, you get me? So this was where it started. So this piece of equipment was very important.
But I could tell you what really gave us that kick is that in guitar going through that Echoplex, and that fold a double sound on the guitar. Instead of you get that crack going up, it was going So we started to complement it with the piano and the clavinet here.
You see, and when you play that style now, Mr. That machine there that gives a echo back, a drag back, an echo, a special. And you see, just in reggae, Mr. That have a machine and I play the guitar, I go so one time and it goes so, and I go check it. I go so one time and go check it.
And we all just glued to that sound. Because at that time, we had like Nanny Goat, Baby Y, Love is a Pleasure. And if you listen to those, you'll hear the definite changes.
Yes, Hello Cabral, Rent and Taxi Tire. Who done it? All them special instrumental, who done it? Ram Jam, Fat Girl, the same film. Girl, I've got a date. Yes.
So after really getting stuff like that and testing it with the on the dance hall and see how the people, you know, react to it, then we use the same process and try and glue other things to it, and there comes reggae.
A week, them time we work for 4 days a week. And Friday we get paid. we hit 5 tunes, we hit 7 tunes, 10 tunes a day. Yeah.
And what was the
There's another thing that Jackie Mitchell did, which I've seen anybody do up until now. If he was to use a bass line, it became a hit. You turn the bass line backwards. So you play the same bass line but play the back to the front, instead of the front to the back. You get me?
How it feels, my heart with memory that I love.
It's only mentioned special play for all them artists.
Was it your
Robbie Lynn? No, it's Jackie Mitchell, Jack. And Robbie Lynn second, and me, Rico Barker there, third. And the bass, Bagger play bass there.
And did you record a lot with Eric Frater?
Too much. Yeah.
Yes, well, there's been a lot of jollification because I can be totally frank to you. I would say about 75% of the tunes that we did, we could tell right away. There are certain tunes that really fooled us. Some of them that you think, wasn't so great, and later on when you hear it, it could become greater than even what you thought was good, This is the nature, of the music, really,
So how many records do you think recorded at Studio One?
Oh, gee, I can't check them, man. It's so much. Yes. Everyone a hit. I mean, when they played here, you see, the first thing you have to go inside that room where the fellas are over there. And they say, hit. And you see, and the studio engineer and that man said that comes and say, yeah, hit.
When you have a hit record, everybody try to duplicate the sound. If it's not like the exact sound, but they try to work around it and break it down. So everybody started to go into that direction just after that.
So that's why reggae became huge, because it was the first one everyone was copying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Did that make it more fun for you, or worse, or?
No, it make it more fun for me because we was always in front, and up to then, you see, what I had over the average producer is that it was an everyday thing for me. As a matter of fact, sometimes I went to bed humming a line that I want to put into a song tomorrow. I have to just hold that so that I don't forget it tomorrow, because I'm not able to write as a musician. So whatever sound or idea, I had to try to glue it here so that I wake up back in the morning. So even over supper, I'll be humming or whatever it is. Yeah, but it was really nice.
Did your wife not mind that?
No, she don't mind. She swing too, you know. She's a nice person. She really swing.
Well, basically your whole life, you were just 7 days a week making music.
Yes. That even some of the time she couldn't believe that I'm coming from the studio. She figured I'm coming from a lady's home. You know? She couldn't believe it's all that. But I enjoy what I did, you know, my whole life. So.
I was living at 5th Street. Bob Marley lived at 3rd Street. In fact, Trenchtown is where the reggae music really, you know, is the birthplace. All the singers, them start from 1st Street, come right up, all peer singers, right up to 12th Street. Toots and the Metals, 12th Street is the last block. And you have Lassell Perkins, 4th Street. So all the way up is just, every street, you can find 2 name artists. On my street, 5th Street, that was where Marty Planner was living, at the end of my street.
Undaunted by the driving rain, a sea of faces awaited at the Palisadoes Airport the arrival of a living legend. To some, he was the King of Kings, the Lion of Judah, even a god. But to most, he was a mild-mannered monarch who had won the respect and admiration of Jamaicans. The air was charged with excitement as anxious, expectant faces searched the skies for the first glimpse of the great silver bird that would bring their hero to Jamaican soil for the first time. Members of a local cult, the Rastafarians, who were easily distinguished by their long beards and unshorn locks, and who worship this figure as a deity, were present in full force.
Okay, when we started the Roots songs, the real hardcore Roots song, this is when the Rastafarian culture begin to creep into the music and begin to link with us, you know. Marty Planner is the leader of the Rastafarian organization, and in 1972, the government sent a delegation of Rastamen to Africa to analyze the Rastafarian situation and to come back. And so when Planner gets involved with the recording business, all of us begin to gather in Planner Yard every day. Understand? All who was interested, because a few artists, if you're not even interested, that yard becomes the base for all the musicians after a time.
Fussing and fighting among ourselves, nothing to achieve this way. It's worth worse than hell, I say. Get up and fight for your right, my brother.
All the music, name them.
Anyone,
Anyone, man. Roland Alfonso, Jackie Mitu, the Whalers, that's where the Whalers get their inspiration. Myself, all of us used to be there on and off, smoking herb and playing music, reading Bible. That was the three main thing. Smoking herb, reading the Bible every day, playing music and listening to the Rastafarian doctrine and where it's coming from and where it's going.
There I met up on Peter Touch and, sang some songs to him and told him that I would like to get in the business. Well, he took me down by 2nd Street the night. There I met Bob and Bunny. And a whole lot of things was going on, cooking and herbs are burn and Man Irie, Planner, Mortimer Planner, all them guys that was there.
I follow His Imperial Majesty teaching. It's the last way them talk about. Not talking about no God, nothing now, talking about a man who his teaching is very relevant in this time.
Cox and Marty Planner was good friends. It was good friends. In fact, they are age bracket people. You understand? And one of Planner's close friend to was the drummer in Bob Marley group, Seiko. Francisco played the percussion. And this is why Seiko was always with Bob, because that's where Seiko saw Bob first and took him by him hand and took him to Mr. Dodd.
Get up and fight for your right, my brother. Get up and fight for your
I stopped sound system about early 70s. But at that time, I was supplying 90% of the sound system dub.
We had a dub machine, and this is another thing that helped the music a lot. The sound men came, and we would suggest certain rhythms to them. You know, they ask what good you have, what you have that's good, and then we would suggest certain things that we heard that we thought, and they would listen it and say yes, and we give it to them, and they would sort of promote it. But what they did was, sometimes they would actually change the name of the tune. And the reason for that is, if another soundman come and wanted it, then, you know, it's like he wouldn't know which tune they got tune. They change the name. When the soundman asks which tune that, you know, they gave it a different name than what we gave them. So when they came and asked why I want this tune, they don't know which tune it is. So they had a lot of rivalry that way, you know what I mean? Trying to hide the sounds, you know what I mean?
Sometimes 200 people in the yard at a time. Believe it, all musicians coming from the country, everybody trying to be a singer, and we would love to see all the greats. People come to meet us. They hear about Alton Ellis and the Heptones, and people come there just to meet us in the sun from abroad and up from uptown and things like that.
Wailers, Gaylords, Delroy Wilson, Marcia Griffiths, Bob Andy, you know, you name them. We're talking about the first set of guys for Sir Coxsone as younger folk. Wailers will go over there writing a song on the same premises, and I will go over there, and Gaylords over there. And then sometimes the whole of us writing a song together.
We're not teaching each other. We don't teach each other, but there's strong competition going on. But not with no corruption within us, you know? But there's strong competition because when a guy hear you do a good song, you know, move him head, he want to do something to counteract that one. You see what I mean? That's what it used to be, you know? We used to be nice, man. Happiness always. That's why the music them used to be so nice.
Mine of the greatest tune time bend down. The best is the pain of the best 20 tunes when the least of all lose the sound system off the ground. Now here comes a musical list to make you jump and twist and get the good down the road. Boom shot.
Here was like a maze with people. 24/7. When Coxsone Mother will be cooking the best stew peas round here. So you have no problem. If you're hungry, you have food to eat. No problem.
Just hanging out in there, smoking a lot of herb and playing on the tree with a guitar. Did something every day, teaching Dennis to play a guitar for days. Dennis, Horace, Andy. His two of the people come to mind immediately. I was like a bigger brother to them. Every time I want to find my guitar, it's either Dennis Savit or Horace. I have to go and search over next door to find them with my guitar, you know, and things like that. But we just hang out. It was the best place to be.
This is Youth Promotion Center, as you know. We are 1979, coming from out of the ghetto, Maxfield Park and all of that. We're just trying to refurbish the center and set it up different. This is the artists. I want to take some of this to Studio One. See, we start off with the legend over here, you know. It's the Ken Boothe. This is my teacher. This is my greatest inspiration in Studio One music. Then comes Alton Ellis. Then Dennis Brown. Dennis Brown was the youth that inspired us, that let us know that youth could do something in music. Dennis Brown, never forget that. Dennis Brown is the head for all of us, all youth in music. Freddie McGregor, my best friend in Studio One for years. Horace Handy, Barry Salmon, used to be our rival. He used to be like Maritone, Soul. They used to put Barry Salmon against us, you know, rather. And he always used to win, because it's so sad. They said, Barry Salmon. Errol Dunkley, Frankie Paul from Channel One Days, was a good artist at Channel One. I put him up there. Michael Rose, when I went to Tubby's, the Waterhouse, first person I met, Michael Rose, on a fence, no shirt. Barrington Levy, first time I heard him, he was singing my songs. And they say, go on and sing. I said, no, leave the youth alone. Can't do that. You flap me. Because he's a kid, right? Melodians represent Treasure Island music that we love. The Eptones, the greatest group ever come in reggae music. Eptones, remember that? Eptones. There's no sound like Eptones. That's the Eptones on Top is the best album ever made in Studio One. Right, better than mine, for real.
The earliest them and they drive me crazy with them melodious harmony and stuff like that. You know? Yeah.
And they were really, really successful, weren't they?
Very successful. I admire the group so much that I realized to keep a group like that together, I had to really carry them. I had a place on Beechwood Avenue. I boarded them there, gave them 3 rooms up there, and I decided to help Leroy by purchasing a bass guitar.
Because was he just a singer?
Yeah, he was just a singer. Yes, and I showed him that, you know, wasn't strong enough to bring in an income. So I had Ernest Ranglin tutor him how to play the bass guitar, and then he got a lot of help from Jackie too, because basically Jackie could use his left hand on the piano and play the notes that he needed to play. Day by day, he was here, learning and earning. In the early 70s, it was obvious that we was the top studio releasing records of the artists. So new artists flock here on Sundays. On Sundays we had our audition. And then say maybe I get here by 10 o'clock. They would be out front. I would come to the gate. Sometime I would ask other artists or musicians to assist me by going quickly through the bulk of artists and just let who sound even halfway distant, and I'll deal with them.
A song to Sir Dad, which is Coxsone, Jackie Me Too, Lee Scratch Perry, and Bim Bim. Those were the first 4 persons I sang to. Peter Touch was the one who played the guitar for me, because at that time I couldn't play the guitar. And I sang 4 songs. And Coxsone stopped me. Asked me where I'm from. I told him I'm from Port Antonio. Said, okay, don't sing anymore. Coming tomorrow.
So how many would be there at the start?
Well, certain Sunday you'd find maybe 100 artists or more out there. So then, you know, we had to really filter it out and let the ones that sound not too bad, I deal with them.
Don't call me Scarface. My name is Capone. C-A-P-O-N-E. Capone, Capone, Al Capone.
Sounds to make you skip and flip and dip your wit and try no funny trick, and this release comes from out of my musical basket. Sounds to get the groove and down the road, and we got to make a move. Boom shot.
Hook, line and sinker, hook back Spanish Amiga, beat that job. From the #1 station, here comes.
Respect. This is Lone Ranger live and direct at a place called Studio One. Tell about it.
The band, I came here with the band Soul Defenders.
And what period was the...
That was 1970. Well, the band played together at Studio One until 1976. There was a nucleus of musicians that were always here. It would be Leroy Sibbles, Bagger would be here, and you had same guitarist I told about, Ron, and Ricka Baca. He was a lead guitarist. And we had Cedric Brooks played saxophone, sometimes Roland Alphonse and Tommy McCook.
So did you take over from Leroy Sibbles, really?
Yeah, well, we both was here at the same time, you know. Because mainly he was singing, you know. But we both was here together. And he played a lot of great bass line too, you know. But he wasn't that, you never know that he would come to this, you know. But he have a long finger, you can stretch and you know the music, so he's good, you know, he's good.
So what's the difference in your styles?
Not really different. I'm just playing for such a long time, that's why I just good, so I just know his back, you know. I can do any work, even Pavarotti, you know, any work.
The Soul Defenders name isn't as well known as some of the others.
No, we played with different names. We played as Sound Dimension, we played as Studio One, All Stars, we played as Brentford Road, All Stars.
Brentford Disco Set.
Yeah, we Underground Vegetables. We had a lot of names.
And what's some of the favourite records that you recorded at Studio One?
All kind of record, I can't count, I can't say, you know.
But there any you remember? That was
no, I can't count, I can't say, just...
Horace, well, Horace and they used to call him Sleepy, you know, because he was, you know, by the time you start talking to me, or by now you'd be asleep somewhere about it. Yes, he used to sleep a lot, you know.
Yes, Horace Andy again, he came in, but I had like Horace Andy for that unique voice, you know. His voice sounded to me different and more like a youth, although he was a grown-up.
Skylarking, skylarking, that is what youths do today. Skylarking, skylarking, before they stand up firm on their feet, begging you a 5 cent, sir, begging you a 10 cent, sir, cannot help, no cannot help. So if y'all keep on doing what you all like doing, you will get the Soto, yeah.
The double LP was one of the things that responsible for breaking new DJ and artists because they had the rhythm now to rehearse on, you know, day to day until they get perfect.
I think the sound men were the ones who drove into that area, right? Because sometimes what we did was we started to do the drum and bass on one track and like the rhythm is on one, you know? So when, as we said, the musicians would come, the sound men would come, every man would like to get his tune sounding different. So in other words, we had given this to one sound man. Next sound man said, why make it sound a little different? You know what I mean? So that's how come now we used to drop in some of the things and drop out some of the things. You understand me? To give it that version thing, if you understand me. So instead of just doing a straight thing, you know, we drop in a little this, dropping out a little of that. You get me? To get it sounding different. So it's from right there now the version starting.
Well, no, that now is dub. That now is dub. You're playing with the control and in and out with the guitars and the steady bass drum and bass and drum coming at you. That is really dub.
Yeah, man, without a doubt. Because you see, it made you become skillful in trying to make a sound different. You have to use echo, reverb in every fashion, you know. Sometimes equalizers, sometimes some of the processors, you have to put them on the drum to make it sound bionic, you know, all kind of things, you know. So we got innovative really.
What get me hip now within the early 70s, there was like say 60% of the sound system love my tracks, so they come on harder dubs. So because of the dubs they are harder, then you would be aware of that is the music of the day that is going. So maybe you just put a artist on it to do a new rendition to it. And that helped me to really keep with what's happening out there.
This is Lincoln Sugar Marionette here, singer-songwriter, producer, Black Roots Production, Youth Promotion Organization, originally out of Studio One stable, Sir Cox and Dart, respect and one love and unity. I check myself as being the son of Studio One and SOS One. I know Studio One spiritually before I'd known Studio One physically. Like I was, you know, I grew up beside a dance hall that Sir Cox and Dart sound used to play, you know. So from I was a boy, Sir Cox and sound. So from that influence, you know, I used to love Studio One music so much that I became a selector. You know, I was a selector, like sound selector. So that was my first involvement with getting to know Studio One music, the Eptones, you know, Leroy Sibbles and all those guys like Alton Ellis, Ken Booth, the whole works. It was my whole life from my youth. The thing with me, my audition was different. But like everybody was there with guitars and all that, and drums. I was there with just my voice. I didn't go with the intention for there to be a band or nothing like that. And then he took me, played the rhythm, spot on, because I was singing it so long, right? It was first time, boom, boom.
So when you started singing over these, was it literally a revelation to Mr. Dodd? Did he?
Yeah, because like Mr. Dodd was thinking of making new rhythm, because Mr. Dodd is not a person that, you know, thinking of repeating, you want to go on, right? But what was playing wasn't half as good as what was there. So, like, the rhythm wasn't good. So then, because I was used to sing this from sound system days, I had 20 songs already on Studio One rhythms. There comes a guy who say, look, I can make these songs and these rhythms. I don't need a band. Then, here comes Mr. DC, Vanity, Never Gonna Give Ya Up, House Is Not a Home, or just hits after hits. Freddie McGregor got revived, but when I came with, like, come down, Natty Jed, come right now, Freddie instantly got a vibe and said, come now, sister, make it come right now. And that was one of Freddie McGregor's first big, then Bobby Babylon. It started up all whole new thing. So Freddie started singing on the same rhythm. Mr. Dodd started putting everybody back on the same rhythm. So it's a whole new revolution.
So you basically took about the arrival of dancehall, which is when people started singing over.
That's it, because there was a next period. Channel One started making over Studio One songs, disguising it, right? Like, instead, Mean Girl, but they play. So Mr. Dodd hears so much music, he's not gonna record, he don't know that, right? But I say, doopy boom, boopy boom, 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 right? So watch that, that's Mean Girl, right? But it's, I need a roof
So you're saying he didn't know? He didn't know?
You know. So I say, look, Mr. Dad, listen, that's Mean Girl, you know what I'm saying? Them say, let's go. Right? So we put our Mean Girl like, I need a roof. So that started, whole people like, that's a Diamond song. What? I said, no, but that's our rhythm.
So you're responding to the versions by
Yes.
reversioning?
Yes. And there was that one like, man, if you run down your shadow now. Channel 1, we look, poof, hit that one before they release it. Where did they get that? It was like Thief, and we taking it back, you know? So it was like, you know, the answer. I named those songs, Answer My Question. I named it, Death in the Arena, I named those songs. Because I was the only singer that could tape song in Studio One and take it away. You know, I could tape, nobody could tape a song but me. So I named Death in the Arena as my song when King Tubby's was going to play Coxsone at Arena, and we made that song overnight. It was an old song from Roland Alfonso, them guy, but we just gave it a name. So all these songs were renamed. They're not the original names of the Studio One. Only Mr. Dad know the real names of these songs, you know. Not even me. I don't know. So that was a good period to know that, Sugar Mine, that, you know, I'm Studio One, for real. And I mean, I'm Ken Boothe, I'm Alton Ellis, I'm Dennis Brown. That's me. All of them people, everything. I absorb everything from all of them.
You're saying Channel 1, but it was dance. It was just everyone.
No, but Channel 1 was the main start. This was the beginning of it. Everybody never started. Channel 1 first, then Joe Gibbs and the Professionals, which was using the same Sly and Robbie and same Sly and Robbie. So it was version for version. And he was licking back their sound, but it was our original rhythms, which Mr. Dad wasn't getting no, there's no publishing, no money, people just do it, you know. It's all fresh. All become new, it's a recycle.
You like the pens and all your corporate, damn right. You all gonna make things great, you pop into the gate, true. Pay the music rate, you pick it up and you make it smile upon the face. That's what I appreciate, y'all. Too long time on a DJ in a dance. Long time on a chant in a dance. We come to nice up the area. We come to nice up Jamaica. But watch your man, dance up the call, dance up the call. Leave Christ alone, leave Christ alone. Ja la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Born on me grow in the ghetto. Born on me grow in Jamaica. Man, I see that now leave me ghetto. Me say me now leave Jamaica. But watch a man, and your papa smile go on a dancing. And your papa Mitchy go on a business. See I sell road, I sell regulars. Man, how you keep your fitness? Gotta tell me how you keep your fitness. But Papa Mitch, love is all of that. Teach your love is all of it. Still about the thing you keep rocking and swing. Cause every man to a thing. And sing, and sing. Keep rocking and swing. And sing, and sing. Too long the man a DJ rubber dub. Long time man a DJ rubber dub. Come to nice up the party. I'm gonna nice up the nightclub.
In the 70s, we stopped playing at dances and whatever it is because we felt the behavior of the fans wasn't too right.
They couldn't go on all night anymore because if it's not the rude boy gonna shoot up the dance, it's the police. If it's not the police gonna shoot up the dance, it's the soldier, right? So dance, you know that very rarely a dance is gonna go through.
It was about the time when it started really shooting up dance and getting on.
Oh, so it got a bit dangerous?
Yeah, it got a bit dangerous. So I figure I've had my fill with it.
The violence in Jamaica, a lot of people think that it's an island-wide thing. It's not an island-wide thing. It's restricted to certain areas. You know, if you have a good sound in Jamaica, bad man like good things. Bad man like the best things, as a matter of fact, right? Bad man like to wear the best clothes. They like to drive the best cars. They like to listen to the best music. So wherever there's a DJ that is happening, the rude boys, they are going to be there.
I am the cover of stuff. And I'm about to leave the man Jack Lemon, so now let me remind you again about the day. To the turn from soul.
I'm really happy about that part of the continuous sales of my product, you know. And what I think is the time we put into it, and lyrically we stayed close to the music because I try to be part of improving the lyrics at times. And away from that, we try to make every song sound different. And even each song, we try to make, even the introduction could give a hint of what's coming because it sounded different from the other song. And in the early days, we went in the studio with people like you in mind, you know. We was not just recording for ourselves. We tried to do something that, well, as we would term it, some people other part of the world would accept, you know. There are a lot of songs that producer would go in and make, and it's just good for the Highland here. But we really was thinking of maybe you. You understand?
All sounds are good in town, but when Sir Cox or I King Stick is not around. Run east, west, north, or south, I King Stick has taught the musical knockout.
You'll hear the sound system men refer to dub plate. This dub plate would be at times 10-inch with 4 different music tracks on it. And the whole song dub is really the backing track of a vocal.
Now as I dip down my musical dub selection box, Studio One find it run to one, you run you hot. Boom shack, tell about it.
Well, to be honest with you, my favorite song is a song called Power Version I did for Studio One. All studios, right? That's my favorite song. Power Version, I love that song because I love the original song You Can't Be Happy Until You Love Someone by the Clarendonians, right? I used to love that song. So when I went to studio, when I asked Studio Morris for that rhythm, you know, I wanted to work on it, you know, and today is my number one song.
Gather round as men, king sound of blues, praising all the musical discs you could never refuse. But lately used to pick and choose for the stuff I really use, and you got to sit back up in the way no bluff. Is that a man called Lone Ranger happens to be the musical prof? Maybe it's because Studio One's got that musical stuff. Tell me about it.
You see, sometimes you play the original, then you play the version and a dub plate, and you go wild.
Lone Ranger is the name and music is the game. Studio One happens to be the station, so black people run, come let me give you a little demonstration about music education to our generation, y'all. Boom Shack, tell you about it. Yeah, I came to Studio One back in the days, like in 1976, 77, when I just graduated from school, and through a Christian brethren who knew Mr. Dad. And every Sunday we used to come and we used to rehearse rhythms, rubber dubs, Coxson's rubber dubs. I used to practice every Sunday, and when we could master it now, he said, okay, we're gonna check Mr. Dad one Sunday. And we came here, this time it was me, Welton Irie, and Carlton Livingston. Three of us started together. So we came here and me and Welton, we did a combination. The first tune for Studio One was a combination tune with me and Welton Irie, a tune called Chase Them Crazy, on the Mr. Bass rhythm, Zora Sandy, you know? Right after that now, me and Mr. Dad got together again and I did a tune called Love Bump, 1980. That was a tune, you know? 18 weeks at #1. That stamper broke while Mr. Dad was away. And people couldn't get the record. And then Mr. Dad came down and it's like, so they told him and he came in and he pressed it. That time it dropped to #3. It was at #1. And then when they couldn't get it, it dropped to about #2, #3. Or Mr. Dad came and he made back the stamper and re-released it again. It went from #3 back to #1. That time the only competitors I had that time was Ika Mouse with I Wado Them, Them. And General Echo with Lena Must Dream You. So you know the competition was stiff. So you know, it's not a producer that rush you or push things at you. I'm like you come in and sit in first. You can't just come in and just, yes, I'm ready to do this, I'm ready to do that. No, you have to come to Mr. Dan and you have to sit down a little bit and walk around the place and give him 2 talk, and then you take time until you drift around the studio, and then he says, Mr. Mel Jackson, which rhythm you want? You know, he lets you choose. And when you choose now and then you start to record now, no matter how long, could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours it take. Him don't stop you until you feel comfortable with what you've done and you are satisfied with what you've done. My favorite rhythms are the original, like the High Fashion, the Lafayette, the Answer My Questions. Mostly all the Coxston rhythms are my favorite, because that's what I started off with. With Toasters, well, you had Stitch, you had Dennis Al Capone, you had the great U-Roy and Jayut. But you see, U-Roy and Jayut, those were the 2 I hold on to when I was going to school. When my mother used to give me my lunch money, I said, well, here's the lunch money, go to school. You know what I did with my money? I went straight downtown to Randy's Record and brought all the big youths and all the Jayut that ever released. I was at a dance one night and DJing. It was a sound clash, sound from East and a sound from West. The sound from West had a lot of veteran DJs. They had Dillinger, Trinity, Dillinger, Trinity, Clint Eastwood. Remember all those West DJs? Kojak? Good, all from West coming to play in the East. And I was the king DJ in East. I was the stronghold in East. Me and Welton Irie, Johnny Ringo, you know, and we was playing at a dance now, and the West song was playing and the dance was packed and all these DJs was coming across, DJing. And all these DJs had hit tunes, had their name in the charts. Me, not yet. But I was good in the ghetto. I wasn't exposed yet. And when it was my turn to go on now, I said, I took the mic and I said, right now, because remember there was a lot of them and it's just me one. So I said, right now, we're better than Trinity. tougher than Eastwood, harder than Dillinger. My name is the Lone Ranger, that's why I act like a stranger, yeah. And from that night, the name stuck. So I just kept that name and keep moving.
Where does it start? And who are you?
Studio One. Man, you're the greatest tune time bender, the best disco tender, the best tunes that choose when the least ball lose those sounds lift you off the ground. Now here comes a musical list to make you jump and twist and skip and flip and dip your hip and try and funny trick. A musical list coming from out of my musical basket, y'all. Do it, ja. Right? This is Lone Ranger. Peace.
This is like a view at times that we go and check what was happening in the store at times.
So the shop's in front of
Yeah, the shop is in front of that.
Also, it's like a little peak hole.
Peephole, that's right.
And why would you need that?
Eh?
Why would you need?
Because we had a couple of breakage in the front there, stick up. Actual stick up.
With guns?
Guns.
Wow. What in this like?
Give me your money, babe.
When was that?
That was, that started happening late 70s. Yeah.
So that's towards the end where you were thinking, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, that's right, you know. Because actually I was in one of the shooting up, you know. They came here one Saturday and Miss Dad sneak out, came around here. I was in the passageway and she told me a stick up going on. So I went upstairs and went on the ledge and got around the front. So I asked the gate man to check out if whatever is happening. But like silly, he came out and said, boss, a stick up going on and really. So the guys follow him. But thank God, you know, I'm still here. But the guy I was lucky enough to shot him in the hip. So the guys took him away, you know. Yeah.
You shot him in the hip?
In the hip.
To defend, because he was going to...
Yeah, because he was shooting at me and I then started to shoot at him.
He was actually shooting?
Yes. So his friend caught him two-way under the shoulder and run off up the road with him. Things was so bad in Jamaica, you couldn't get currency to purchase the material, because at that time I was thinking was depending heavily on the factory. So we needed to import pellets, you know, material, and there was no funds for that. So we decided to go New York for a while. Because you wasn't able to press in no quantity to export. So we took some tapes and went off, but keep coming to and fro.
What do you think of your career so far?
Well, I'm very thankful, you know. As I would say, thank God, you understand. It has moved from limb to limb, you know. And I'm still hoping that we still can achieve more as time goes by, you know. But on the whole, God gave me a very good mother. I can also say that as a wife, because my wife and family, been very helpful, always there for me. And I've got long-standing friends, you know, who have inspired me to keep on going, right? And looking back, I'm very thankful for all the good artists and musicians that I've worked with over the years. So no regrets.
Manny's Corner. No,
You know, if I want the money, I have to give me money to Jackson. What am I sing the them for? But you still I get the money, you know?
This is Nani's Corner. While over there was where my liquor store and where I started from. Over here was my mother's restaurant and bar.
And I used to rely on 2 for 2. And one has got to salute.
The champion sound in the land. No sound come
No
and
sound
get thrown
come.
down. And he's still alive. When he released the Satellite, crowd of people go to the dance hall at night to hear 1, 2 release. Whether it is Scandal, Roadblock, Tears Don't Fall, or Adam's Apple. You know? Some great tune, you know? You got to be there to listen to that that night. Yeah, man.
Studio One is coming like a coconut tree, you know, instead of a catch crop business. So I learned along the way to be more stronger, write good songs, you know, and be a star.
Well, I never left Studio One yet, you know. I never left Studio One yet. We just give him a walk and come back.
We used to play the sound system over there. And then my old lady, she had a business doing here. So we used to hang out and have fun and drink here, have drinks, you know.
How old were you when you were doing that?
Well, at that time I was about maybe 22 years old. Nice, cool wedding, you know. But all them places, man, it's beautiful memory of places like this, man. Everything was cool and nice, you know.
If you didn't love me, dear, why didn't you let me know? Darling, you've left me in tears, and I don't know what to do. I should have known from the start that you're not meant for me, that you would break my heart and leave me here in misery. And ever since you left that night, my heart's been aching for you. There's nothing I do that can be right, 'cause I'm worried over you. Ooh, if you didn't need my kiss, why didn't you let me know. Darling, I just can't resist to tell you I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.